welcome Lauren McIntyre, who is going to give us an introduction to an idea on a topical theme for G3. So I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, so let me introduce myself. Some of you know me. Some of you may remember me from back when. So let me just introduce, for those of you who are young and new, which is a good chunk of the room, which is excellent to see. I'll just take 2 minutes to tell you who I am. So my name is Lauren McIntyre. I'm a statistical geneticist. I've been kind of working in some of these modeling areas, but really for a lot of my career more in kind of omics data integration. But well, since I think 2010, 2011, I was an associate editor at Genetics. So many of you know Genetics from some seminal papers in the area. And I have been very interested in the concept of what is the point of publication, right? Well, other than to get our tenure or promotions or whatever, but it's to have a conversation, to share information, to work together, to develop a common language and understanding. And so right around this time, we realized that, you know, that we're all kind of, and it hasn't changed, right? We're all kind of obsessed with the concept of impact and who's doing what and how big their model is and why it's amazing. And we decided at the time at the Genetics Society to make a new experiment and to launch a journal called G3, which is Genes, Genomes, and Genetics, where we don't make a judgment about the impact, but we make a judgment about clarity and usefulness. And it's been a really big success, I think, overall, because we can take away a lot of the like, oh, we're going to solve hunger tomorrow with this new model. And really have a discussion about like what's the important problem? How do we incorporate these things into our models? How do we deal with this and just put on the table what our problems are and our ideas for solutions and what we think we can achieve in this text. And so we launched this journal with this idea, and I think it's done pretty well. And we have a new series, which our previous speaker is kicking off, which we're calling Dialogue and Debates. And the idea is if you have a problem and there's a conundrum and you want to have a discussion about it, you can go back and forth. Some of you may remember that Fisher and Pearson did this in the last century. What we envision here is something substantially more polite. But not necessarily less intense intellectually, right? So we want to basically, there are conversations to be had. There is not a right or wrong way to do things. We have a conversation, and that's why we're calling it Dialogues and Debates. The first article should be online ahead of print this week in time for this. It's authored by our previous speaker, Anne James Holland, and it's called Don't Blub Twice. So, but it's an opening, right? It's an invitation, and Fred has agreed to write something about G by E by M. And what I really want to do as I stand here in front of you is to say, this journal is, editors are practicing scientists. The reviewers are you in the room. The authors, hopefully, are you in the room. And it's my intention to support a discussion and to support good quality intellectual contributions from a wide variety of perspectives. And then to tag these and make these things findable more generally. So can you go to the next tab? So in 2015, we started thinking about multiparental populations. We still think about this. And can you go to the next tab? Then we have genomic prediction, which we have been thinking about. So my challenge is here. What I really want to do is have the next tab be G by E by M. Okay, so if we can collect enough interest in this, then we can also support this, promote it, collect it, disseminate it. We have the dialogue and debates, so the ability to actually have a conversation or discussion. I will also say that the more clear you are, I'm the editor-in-chief of G3, if I forgot to say this. So my overarching goal when I do review is one and done. So the more you share, the more clear you are, right? You get your comments back. You don't necessarily need to be perfect. You just need to be clear, right? And if you share what you're doing and you're clear, like, you don't have to make the reviewers always happy, because as we know in this room, we might disagree. We just need to have a way of articulating our ideas and being clear with each other. If you have a need in the publication arena, something that you don't get from journals, please come talk to me I will be here for the 2 days, for the breaks. Tell me what your frustrations are, and I will see what I can do about it. Okay, so that's it. I think it's coffee now, unless we have any questions about the ideas and G3.
Thank you very much for that exciting invitation and opportunity. I think that's really wonderful. And I think it's in the spirit of this experiment of trying to bring together this transdisciplinary thinking, where we have to be clear about our points, even if it's a work in progress. Wonderful. Thank you.